what's up everybody? Brittany and Craig here with IPT Virtual, and today we're going to be diving into the sciatica related nerve pain. So I'm sure you've heard the term before, you've either had it yourself, you know somebody who's had it, you have a friend who has it right now. Either way, we're going to dive in a little bit and show you some things that you can do to find out where it's really coming from, and then a quick and easy release that you can use as well. So sciatica typically is reported as running from the back, going down the glute, down the back of the leg, into the calf, and then into the foot, even sometimes when it's really, really irritated and affected. So that down to the foot, definitely closer to sciatic pain than the other thing that I'm going to talk about, which is a glute med trigger point. So if you've ever heard someone when they have a heart attack, or they tell you when you have a heart attack that you have jaw pain or pain in your arm or other places, it's a referred pain pattern. The heart is a muscle, just like anything else. So every muscle has its own referred pain pattern, and the glute med muscle, which is right on the side over here, right in beyond the biggest part of your butt muscle, a little bit over to the side, that's going to be your glute med. If there's a trigger point in that muscle, it can actually reproduce symptoms that are really similar to sciatic nerve pain. Typically, it won't travel past the knee though. So that's going to be the easy differentiating factor that we're going to use today. So
Hey Brittany.
Yeah.
What's a trigger point?
What is a trigger point? So a trigger point can develop inside a muscle, whether it's been over-contracted for a really long time or overstretched for a really long time. And it's what we're going to call those little knots in your muscle. And it's a hyperactive area, very pinpoint specific spot in that muscle.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Thank you. So when we're talking about the trigger points in the glute med, we're talking about one specific spot that's maybe reproducing that sciatic pain. Again, if it's traveling past your knee, probably rule that out for now. But if it's just before that, we're going to differentiate between the two. And the way that we can differentiate between the two is finding the little lacrosse ball, something that has a little bit of give to it. Okay, Craig's on the table here. So this table is a little soft. You want to make sure that you're on a hard surface so that you have that push into the ball. And then there's two spots that we're going to try out. One is the piriformis. So you're going to be coming closer towards the inside of your butt. Okay, and that's what you're going to feel when you do that figure 4 stretch, you know, when you cross your foot over the other and you pull in, that's the muscle that we're stretching.
Found it.
So if you're on there, it's naturally always going to be a little bit sensitive or tender just because you are putting pressure and you have a hard ball right into that specific muscle. But what we're looking for is a reproduction of the symptoms that you're complaining about. So just because that's tender, just because you feel it, doesn't always mean that it's the source of your problem. Right. Okay? So once you hang out here for a little bit, you could even play around. If you cross that right foot over the left knee, if we're on that right side, that's going to pop the piriformis a little bit more into the ball so you can really make sure that you're on it. Okay, and then again, maybe you feel it, but it's not super tender down into the leg, or it's not radiating those symptoms. So then we're going to try and get a little more glute med. In order to get that specific spot, you're going to move the ball out to the side a little, and you're going to have to turn your body so that you're almost at like a 45-degree angle towards the ceiling. Okay, and then you're going to mush around a little to see if you can find a spot again. That's tender, okay, but it's not excruciating pain. You want to find a spot that's talking without screaming. And then this right now, what we're looking for again, is it tender in that one spot, or is it reproducing the pain down the leg? So if it's reproducing the pain down the leg when you get on there, then that's positive for a trigger point that's causing those sciatic nerve symptoms. And all you got to do is take that ball, hold it about 30 seconds to a minute, and then keep coming in and out on that same spot. Could take 5, it could take 6 times. The rule of thumb is that you're going to know how many times to do, because the next time that you go in should be a little bit less sensitive than the first time. Okay, so for some people maybe it takes 3 repetitions, some people it takes up to 5, but it definitely should not be getting worse as you put the same pressure in the same spot. It should only get better from there on out, and it should take some of those traveling symptoms back towards the main source.
That's great information. Thank you.
Okay, so try it out. If it's from that glute med, easy with the lacrosse ball, you can do it at home on your own.